Hi guys, it's reaction time, Screammaker and Can't Stop the Rain. Man, this band brought out an amazing album last year, Blood King. They got signed to Frontiers later on that year. They brought an album out, Blood King, on another label, can't remember what that was. Then Frontiers signed them. Then Frontiers released that album again through their own label. Polish metal band. I actually looked back at my best albums of 2022. This came in at number 2. It was that fucking good, their album last year. I was a bit surprised that they went to Frontiers. I don't know, it just seemed like it didn't seem like the sort of band they would sometimes sign. Yeah, I know they signed some metal bands, but you know, this band are quite dark, quite heavy. That album last year, Blood King, was perfect. It really was. And they're already bringing new music out. I mean, that's like the next year, so it's quite amazing. I think they're bringing it out in the summer sometime. It's called Land of Fire. In the band, and these are Polish names, remember, so I've got to try and pronounce them. The amazing vocalist, Sebastian Stodolak. Mikhail Rona on guitar. Bartosz Zilowski on the guitar, Jan Radosz on the bass, and Thomas Sapiezek on the drums. I might be just doing the Christian names in future, but man, like I said, this album blew me away. And the great thing about, not this album, last year's album, the great thing about the album was I loved it from the beginning, and the more and more I listened to, the more and more I loved it. The hooks just grew and grew and grew. You know, those albums that sometimes grow on you more and more, they're the ones that stay with you longer. You know, if an album, I've always said it, if an album gets you straight away with like a really catchy chorus, or it's catchy altogether, you can quickly, weirdly enough, I can quickly go off of it a bit too soon. And it's almost with Screammaker's album, Blood King, last year. Yes, really liked it when I first heard it. But man, you know, if I gave it a 7 out of 10, which I don't really score, but if I gave it a 7 out of 10 when I first heard it, it was a 9.5 out of 10 at the end. That's how good it turned out to be, and that's what I love. I love, love, love those albums that grow. Anyway, this is Screammaker, now on Frontiers. It's called Can't Stop the Rain, the first single, obviously. It is the actual second track on the album that's coming out with 11 tracks on it. Here we go, without further ado, I've really been looking forward to getting around to this. Came out yesterday. It's the quickest I could get around to listen to it, but here we go. There's something about this band that I absolutely love. I mean, why wouldn't I? Galloping metal riffs, great vocals. I love the way they change things up a little bit. You know, it's a galloping metal song. It's quite straightforward at times for that sort of thing. But then they put little like bits in it, like the end of, you notice the end of each chorus line, they put like a, instead of keep galloping, they put like a ding, 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 ding. They slow it down and give you something a little bit more to think about. They could have just carried on that gallop normally, but they're a really interesting band to listen to, and they try to do these different stuff, like the way they're doing the light and shade in the verse, in the second verse, it came in different at the beginning, and then it like galloped for the rest of it. Just brilliant stuff, man. I mean, this seems a little bit, because on the Blood King album, there was some tracks, and on their past material, because one of the few bands that I have gone back and listened to. I don't know if you guys know, but when I find new music, and if a band have had 4 or 5 albums out, and I discover them as a new band and I haven't heard anything else, I haven't really got the time and investment to go back and back. The time mainly, I'd love to, but with album releases and new music, it's just impossible. It's near enough impossible to keep up with what's coming out now, let alone go back. But I did with this band, and that's a one-off. That proves how great they are. And they do have these songs, even on Blood King, that's a little bit more light, not as darker sounding. This one is a little bit more melodic than a lot of stuff that came out on Blood King. But I think that's what you get with this band. They do these sort of songs and they do something that's really heavy and dark and that. And I love that about this band. They give you something more to think about than the same feel all the way through the record. It's all in that metal vein, but they give you loads of different sort of sides to metal. Love it. Proper galloping riff, man. Absolutely love it. Just perfect. Let's listen to the rest, guys. Here we go. Absolutely superb, man. Just got better and better. The dueling guitars in that solo. Love that riff. Like I said, that little dang, 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 dang at the end of each line of the chorus. That's amazing. Oh, man. I can't wait for the next single. I can't wait for the album. Love this band, really do, and really new to me last year and blew me away, and they're still blowing me away with this next release. I love his voice, man, and I think I remember saying, you know, I heard earlier on, me looking back at those best albums, the vocalist, man, he's got an amazing vocal, but he's got it's like a cross between, I don't know, it's like a cross between Jeff Tate, Dino Chalusic and Lane Staley from Alice in Chains. it just really feels like a brilliant, complete mixture of all those things. He's got such a powerful voice, man. And yeah, I think that's, you know, I'm really drawn towards vocalists in general, you know, vocals in metal. And, you know, when it's a brilliant vocalist like that, I'm like, yeah, man, that's superb. You've got to have a good vocalist in metal. You really have, and he is the bollocks. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think of that. That was Can't Stop the Rain by Screammaker. Remember, the album Land of Fire is coming out a little bit later this year. Are you going to get it? Let me know what you think of that song. Honestly, this band are the real deal. I'll see you soon, guys.